Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give a very warm welcome to the stage to Marilyn Monroe.
Good evening. Welcome to Crazy Coqs. What a great name for a venue. I couldn't aspire to anything higher than to feel the desire to make you my own. I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, ba-diddly-diddly-diddly-dum, poop-poopy-doop. Thank you, Emerson. Oh, thank you. Wow. It's so amazing to be here. It's amazing to be here in 2021. I mean, let's be honest, it's amazing to be anywhere in 2021, isn't it? Lockdown, wasn't it awful? I lost everything, including my dress sense. Who knew we owned so much loungewear? But here I am, I'm back, Norma Jean, otherwise known as Marilyn Monroe. You can applaud if you like. I've been called a sex symbol, a legend, a goddess, an icon. Any others you can think of? Who said dead? Little did I know that all these years later, people would be legend. Thank you. I did say that one. Legendary. Okay. Little did I know that all these years later, people would be putting on wigs and makeup and singing songs about me. And that's just Elton John. And then there were the rumors, all the rumors. There was a rumor that I had 6 toes. I mean, what do they think I am, a llama? Did you know a llama has 6 toes? See, I'm not such a dumb blonde, am I? And then there was the rumor in the National Enquirer that I lived with Elvis Presley and we run a... Oh, did you read that one? That we run a fish and chip shop by the sea? I mean, there's people that believe this stuff. Honey, my fish is off. And then there was the biggest rumor. The rumor of me and the president. Did I? You know. Yes, I did. Sung him happy birthday. And what an amazing moment that was. It went down in history. because it was Hollywood royalty meets Hollywood American presidential royalty. Now, I say royalty because we don't have royalty in America. Well, we do now. We have Harry and Meghan. But we didn't then, and it went down in history. And you know, people have copied it ever since. Did you know that Jerry Halliwell from the Spice Girls sung Happy Birthday to Prince Charles, your dad? You do look like Harry, you know that, right? He does. Don't you think he looks like Prince Harry? So Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice, she sung Happy Birthday to your dad for his 50th birthday. Do you remember that? No, nobody remembers it because nobody cares. And, you know, you can't beat the original. I can't stand lookalikes. Terrible. But talking of Happy Birthday and your dad, I need someone to sing Happy Birthday to. Now, somebody told me, what's the chances of this? It's actually Prince Harry's birthday today. And you are the real Prince Harry, right? You're 39 years old today. 37. Oh, you're 37. Sorry. You know, age is just a number. So, would you mind if I sung you Happy Birthday? Are you still Your Royal Highness, or did they take that off you? Okay, so you're like the artist formerly known as Prince. Happy birthday to you. I like the way you didn't bring Meghan. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Are you a highness? No, are you Duke? Okay, Mr. Dookie. There's a pub on Compton Street named after you. Happy birthday to you. By royal approval. My pleasure. But you know, I have to let you into a little secret. I'm not the real Marilyn Monroe. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? If I was the real Marilyn Monroe, I'd be 95 years old. And Botox and filler is good, but it's not this good. Just ask Madonna. No, and I don't even talk like this. I talk like this. Hello. My name's Michael Caine. Well, it's not actually. My name's not Michael Caine. It'd be brilliant, though, wouldn't it? My name is Suzie Kennedy, and I have been impersonating the icon, Queen Marilyn Monroe, for 23 years. Amazing. But if anyone here is from the Inland Revenue, I'm on furlough. Now, I don't want to brag, I don't want you to think I'm arrogant, but I am globally acclaimed. Thank you. It's not me that says that, it's the Globe, right? I have impersonated Marilyn for people like Kate Moss, Eva Longoria, all over the world, Michael Douglas, Shirley Bassey, royalty like Prince Albert of Monaco, Prince Andrew. I bet he's sweating now. I've even impersonated Marilyn for the Queen herself, Madonna. Back when she had her old face, though. Sorry about that. So it's been an amazing career. You know, I've been all over the world, but the problem with being a top-notch, super famous Marilyn Monroe impersonator is people get, sad when they find out you're not the real thing. in 2008, I was in Dubai, and there was a taxi driver, and he said, let me drive you around for free, because he loved the film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. It was only a few days in when he said, "You do sound a lot different than you sound in the film." It was then I realised, and I thought, wow, it's really expensive now. So I just said, yeah, I got laryngitis. So we got away with that one. But yeah, you know, she's been my life, my income, everything to me. And you know, it's a difficult career. But you know, you're thinking, how did this amazingly beautiful girl become like Marilyn? You know, well, you know, there is some. I'm not her, but there is some similarities, right, between me and the real Marilyn. For number one, I was born on the west coast of America. Now, this isn't a Cockney Dick Van Dyke fake accent. I was born in the. You explained to me. Yes, she's actually British. Yeah. So, yeah. Because my parents were British, and they were childhood sweethearts, and they left the UK to go to America, have me, and to live and find the American dream. My dad found the American dream. Unfortunately, it was inside an American woman. So he left my poor mum. My mum was amazing, her childhood sweetheart, her husband, the only man she knew. She was left alone, homeless, penniless. She took me back to the UK and she raised me in the London borough of Peckham. Right, so back in the 80s, Peckham didn't get that reaction. Right, so it wasn't the best place to live. It's now called Peckham Village. It's still Peckham. It's just got a few herb gardens. Right? So like Marilyn, I was raised without a dad. And that was until my mum met this really nice guy. He was a divorcee, had children. He came into my life. I was like 7 years old. And I thought, oh, this is a guy who showered me with love and affection, like the only dad I know. And life was good. So you're probably thinking, well, how did this Peckham bred, we're bored now. Tell us how you became Marilyn. Well, I'm going to tell you, right? When I was 18 years old, I decided to bleach my hair. Unlike you, I'm not a natural blonde. So, but it was a bit of a disaster. Sorry. You are natural, right? I mean, so it was a bit of a disaster. It was a sun-in disaster. Does anyone remember the product Sun-In? He does, he's got no hair left. So basically, Sun-In was like washing your hair with sulfuric acid in Chernobyl. But once I bleached my hair, I'd walk down the street and people would say to me, "Oh my God, you look like Marilyn. Wow, Marilyn Monroe, Marilyn, where's the president? How's the president?" One person did say Marilyn Manson, but you always get one. You always get one. So Marilyn was born, and I was thinking, I've got to find out who this Marilyn Monroe is. So I went to, all the old people are going to love this bit, I went to Blockbuster Video. You're going to love this one. I got a VHS of the film Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. There, as the screen opened, was Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe in their glittering red dresses singing Little Rock. And I was transfixed. I'm just a little girl from Little Rock. I lived on the wrong side of the tracks. But the gentlemen friends who used to call, they never did seem to mind at all. They came to the wrong side of the track. Then someone broke my heart in Little Rock. So I up and left the pieces there. Like a little lost lamb, I roamed about. I came to New York and I found out that men are the same way everywhere. I was young and determined to be wine and dine and nerving, and I worked at it all around the clock. Now one of these days in my fancy clothes, I'ma go back home and punch the nose of the one who broke my heart. The one who broke my heart. The one who broke my heart in Little Rock, Little Rock, Little Rock. I'm just a little girl from Little Rock. A horse used to be my closest pal. Such a weird line. Though I never did learn to read or write, I learned about love in the pale moonlight. Now I'm an educated gal. I learned an awful lot in Little Rock, and here's some advice I'd like to share. Find a gentleman who is shy or bold or short or tall. Did you write this? Or young or old. As long as the guy's a millionaire. For a kid from the small street, I did very well on Wall Street, though I've never owned a share of stock. And now that I'm known in the biggest banks, I'm going back home and give my thanks to the one who broke my heart. The one who broke my heart. The one who broke my heart. In Little Rock. What was amazing about that is, little did I know, after seeing Jane Russell and Marilyn Monroe in their red glittering dresses, 10 years later, I'd be wearing one of those actual dresses live on the TV show This Morning with Philip Schofield. As I walked up and down, Philip was checking me up and down, and I thought, he fancies me. How wrong I was. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's rewind, because that was in the future. We've got to go back to the past. So I bleached my hair in Chernobyl, and I've got this Marilyn hair, and people are saying I look like Marilyn. So then I was at a race course. And my stepdad took me racing, and I saw lookalikes. There was a lookalike of Ab Fab and Del Boy, and they were promoting gambling. And I thought, my God, they're actually getting paid to look like someone. So I started chatting to the Ab Fab woman, Patsy Stone, and she said to me she was a lookalike, a professional lookalike, and I could join this agency and I could make money. This was like music to my stepdad's ears, because he'd lost all the money that day racing. So I was like, got the number, and I called up Susan Scott Lookalikes, which was like at the time the biggest lookalike agent. And she took me on, and then a few months later she called me up and said they were casting for an After 8 Mints Christmas TV commercial. It was a big deal. And they had done a poll of people to find out who was the top 5 people in history that you would like to have dinner with, and then they were going to take these people and make a commercial. So think of it, it was 1998, so don't say Kim Kardashian, okay? Who would be the top 5 people you would have? Elvis. That was Barbara, I knew it was... yeah. Sinatra. Right. Marilyn Monroe. Right, so basically, I tell you who they were. It was Albert Einstein, Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, Stephen Fry, after dinner speaker, and the supermodel, Naomi Campbell. Right. So three of those are dead, so they couldn't be in it. So they casted lookalikes, and I was obviously Marilyn. And the other two are played by the real people. Now, I was on set, and I thought, Naomi Campbell, top 5 of all time. I mean, I would personally like Gandhi, Martin Luther King. My first one would have been Jesus, right? Because not only is he like the greatest guy that ever lived, he can turn water into wine. I mean, that's the guy to invite to a party. So she said to me, actually, I don't think Naomi Campbell was in the poll. I think it turns out that the drippy producer was in love with her. So he thought, if I hire her, she'll meet me and she'll fall madly in love with me. Men's logic, right? Never happened. Anyway, so my career was off. I was in this commercial, and suddenly I was getting loads of calls for being commercials. I was in the Citroen C3 commercial, which was on when Michael Jackson's interview was on. It got so much publicity. But when I went to film it, they closed all the streets of Madrid. People were screaming. They were going crazy. But you should have heard the disappointment when I appeared. They thought it was like J-Lo or something. It wasn't. But then, during lockdown, just before, I got casted in the ultimate commercial, the Super Bowl halftime commercial. And you want to be my friend now, don't you? Like, ooh. Yeah, and it was amazing. But in this commercial was Marilyn Monroe. It was for Fox. Don't boo. They paid me. It was me, an American eagle, not the band, the actual bird, an American eagle, a cowboy, a firefighter, an American footballer. And it was right at that moment that I realised that Marilyn Monroe, she's an icon now. She's not even a real person, you know? And I've lost count of the amount of times people say to me, oh, could you sing Happy Birthday, but make sure you sing it in the dress she sung it in. You know, the one that's white that blows up over the grate? No. It's a completely different decade, completely different outfit. But I still do it because I get paid. But talking of dresses, let's talk about Some Like It Hot. Now, for any of you that have not seen this film, I'll explain what it's about. It's two men, Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon, who disguise themselves as females to escape the mafia. Whilst disguised as females, they join an all-girl band. They infiltrate them, stay in their bedroom, and try and have sex with Marilyn Monroe. Now, if Cancel Culture 2021 doesn't catch up with that film, I don't know what will. So let's go back to Some Like It Hot and remind you of the, the things. Bit of a girl band. Running wild, lost control. Running wild, mighty bold. I'm feeling gay, reckless too. Carefree mind all the time, never blue. Always going, don't know where. Always showing that I don't care. Don't love nobody. It's not worthwhile. All alone, running wild. Woo! What I didn't tell you earlier is I'm such an amazing lookalike that there's some people that actually confuse me with the real thing. And you know those cheap calendars you get down the market of Marilyn? It's my face on them. Yeah. See that? That's an officially endorsed Marilyn Monroe product. My face on it. I'm not kidding you. I've actually been on people's tattoos as well. There's some random man going around at the moment with a Marilyn Monroe tattoo that's actually me. Sad. But talking of Some Like It Hot, let's talk about Tony Curtis. Oh, that's the fans, that is. Okay, so Tony Curtis said kissing Marilyn Monroe was like kissing Hitler. Now, I don't think that's because Marilyn Monroe needed to wax her top lip. I think it's because someone got rejected here, and it wasn't Marilyn. And I was proven right, because years later at a Julian's auction, there was a letter written by Marilyn Monroe about Tony Curtis. And she said, "There's only one way he could comment on my sexuality, and I'm afraid he's never had that opportunity." Tony Curtis really disrespected Marilyn Monroe as time went on. There was one story that when they were on the set of Some Like It Hot, Ori Kelly was designing the dresses for all of them, and Tony Curtis lifted up his dress and said, "I bet Marilyn Monroe doesn't have as good as arse as I've got." To which when Marilyn Monroe heard it, lifted up her blouse and said, "Yeah, but I bet he doesn't have tits as good as this." Which is really strange, because whenever I think about Tony Curtis now, I think of humongous tit. Come to think of it, he's a bit of an arse as well, right? But you'd never know. You'd never know he was such a dick, because in the film, they're amazing together on screen. And the reason I'm telling you about Some Like It Hot is because I got to wear the actual dress that Marilyn Monroe wore in Some Like It Hot. Wow, it's wow, isn't it wow? Thank you, Lone Clapper. What it was is I was hired to do the biggest auction of Marilyn Monroe stuff in modern times. It was like 2016, and it was at Julian's auction house, and we went all over the world with all of Marilyn Monroe's personal possessions from the largest collection and the stuff from her estate. And I got to wear this dress, and inside this dress was amazing because you had to be naked to wear it, because it was cut really low across the bum, so you couldn't wear underwear. Inside it was all built in, and they even had little nipple tassels inside where Marilyn would put her nipples, and that kind of excited me, because I thought, oh, my nipple's been where Marilyn's nipple is. Don't know if that makes me a pervert, but it was just interesting. But the point is, you had to be naked to wear this dress. And Julian's auction house didn't trust me to get this dress on and off on my own, right? So they hired Michael Bush. Oh, do you know him? Can I point you out, Michael? Just say yay or nay. Right, so he's over there, right? So are the owners of Julian's auction house, and they're multi-millionaires, so I won't point them out unless you pay me. So they hired Michael Bush, and if you don't know him, Michael Bush is Michael Jackson's actual costume designer. So he would dress Michael Jackson. Now, he had to see me naked, obviously. And he turned up and he said, "I don't care about seeing you naked, because it would make me physically sick." Charming, right? But it turned out it wasn't because I had a hideous body. It was because he was what he called a platinum gay. Now, if you don't know what a platinum gay is, it's basically a gay man who's never been anywhere near a woman's foo-foo, even when they were born. So like caesarean section. It's what rich women have. So I said to him, "It's really weird that your name's actually Michael Bush." Because that's probably the closest you've ever got to a bush. he said, no. I've seen one other foo-foo in my life. And that foo-foo was Elizabeth Taylor's. Well, I wanted to know whose was better. Elizabeth Taylor's foo-foo or my nooner? Like a true gentleman, he said, I'm never going to tell you that. And I thought, that's really nice. Unlike Tony Curtis, that's a classy guy. And then I realised that when he saw her foo-foo, she would have been about 70 years old. But I consoled myself with the fact that a platinum gay wouldn't know a good vagina if it came up and slapped him in the face. Anyway, enough of the vulva talk, because I've got some church people in, so I've got... Ah. But wearing Marilyn Monroe's clothes was amazing. I mean, anyone remember Marilyn Monroe wore this really beautiful spaghetti strap black cocktail dress, really long one, and she was photographed wearing it in New York. It's a beautiful dress. And then I got to try it on in Marilyn Monroe's actual apartment in New York. It was incredible. And people say to me, you know, did it smell of Chanel No. 5? It didn't. It smelled like old lady mothballs, which I pray she didn't smell like. But it was amazing. And as I put this dress on, I felt like Cockney Susie disappeared and Marilyn Monroe turned up. And I thought, I wonder if that's how Norma Jean was when she put on her costumes, that suddenly she wasn't Norma Jean and she was Marilyn Monroe. And when I was in this apartment, they left me with all of her stuff, which was quite brave. But I got to go through her address books, and there, in her actual handwriting, was all the A-list of Hollywood. I got so excited, like the nipple thing. I got really excited, and I saw Marlon Brando written in there with his phone number. And I was like, oh my God, we got to call Marlon Brando. Then I realised he was dead. But one of the most lovely things I got to wear was her jewellery. Her jewellery's amazing because I got to wear the earrings from How to Marry a Millionaire. And they're amazing, these earrings, because not only did she wear them on screen, but she wore them in her, like, normal life. So she was going to a dinner or a photo shoot, she would try these earrings and wear them, and to be that close to them was amazing. And I got to wear the earrings from 7 Year Itch premiere, and they were my favourite. They were like drop earrings, they were stunning. But what I noticed about all these earrings was they were all paste. None of them were real. And for a woman that sung Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, she never owned any real diamonds. You know, and she's also said she didn't care about money, she just wanted to be wonderful, which is a lovely thing. But I wish Marilyn Monroe could have seen that those paste earrings from the 7 Year Itch went on to sell for nearly £250,000. The French are bred to die for love. They delight in fighting duels. But I prefer a man who lives, gives expensive jewels. A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. A kiss may be grand, but it won't pay the rental on your humble flat, or help you at the automat. Men grow cold as girls grow old, and we all lose that charm in the end. But square cut or pear shape, these rocks don't lose their shape. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Tiffany's, Cartier, Black Star, Frost and Gore. Talk to me, Harry Winston, tell me all about it. they start to descend, it's then that those louses go back to their spouses. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I've heard of affairs that are strictly platonic, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. And I think affairs that you must keep platonic are better bets. If little pets get big baguettes, time rolls on, and youth is gone, and you can't straighten up when you bend. But stiff back or stiff knees, you stand straight at Tiffany's. Thank you, backing vocal. Premature standing ovation. Hold that thought. If it goes downhill from now. Oh, I slipped into Marilyn then. Sorry, back to the Cockney accent. The question I get asked the most when I'm dressed as Marilyn is, how did you die? Now that is an all-day question and answer session. And once that I've explained to them my experience and the books I've read and I give them the answer, I usually just get this back. Yeah, well, I think she was killed by the CIA. I know. The second question I get asked the most, usually by men, is, what's it like playing a sex symbol? Well, it's hard. Because you never know if a man likes you or whether he's got this fantasy about Marilyn Monroe. And I once went on a date and I decided to not go dressed as Marilyn. And when I turned up, the guy went, ugh. You look different. But it has led to some heartbreak. I was dating a guy once and he called me and he said, I'm really sorry, but I can't see you anymore because you look like Marilyn Monroe. And I thought, well, actually, I met you on a gig looking like Marilyn Monroe, so don't see a problem. And he said, well, the problem is everywhere we go, everybody says, oh, Marilyn, Marilyn, taking pictures, Marilyn, it's just really annoying. And I don't want to do it anymore, and that's why I'm dumping you. And I said, that's like a ridiculous reason to dump me. And he said, well, how would you like it? Is if everywhere we went, everybody called me Buddy Holly. I said, I wouldn't dump you. I just wouldn't get on a plane with you. But it is hard living up to the sex symbol image, especially because Marilyn Monroe was the ultimate sex symbol. And the song that I get asked to do a lot, it's a very sexy song, and it's called My Heart Belongs to Daddy. Now, you may remember. I think it's quite creepy. I mean, most of the men I sing it to really could more like my granddad than my daddy. But I did think it was creepy. My stepdad said it wasn't creepy at all. It was cute, and it's a product of its time. But to me, it was creepy, right? But they pay me, and it's a very, very famous Marilyn Monroe song, so I do it. And I was hired to sing My Heart Belongs to Daddy to an 80-year-old man called Richard. I know. So I'm just going to pretend that you're Richard. You are looking amazing for 80. What's your skincare? So here we go. While tearing off a game of golf, I may make a play for the caddy. But when I do, I don't follow through, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy. If I invite a boy some night to dine on my fine fit and heady, I just adore. He's asking for more, but my heart belongs to Daddy. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy. So I simply couldn't be bad. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy. Dad, dad, dad.
Dad, dad, dad.
So I want you laddie. Though I know that you're perfectly swell, that my heart belongs to Daddy. 'Cause Daddy, you treat me so Now, at the end of the song, I leant in to kiss Dick. It wasn't that kind of sorry, Marilyn's back. It wasn't that kind of show. Dick is what Richard's family called him, right? So I leant in to kiss Dick to the chance of kiss Dick, kiss Dick. And as I kissed him, I pulled away, and his 80-year-old flaky skin had become attached to my lip gloss. I looked like I'd been eating a sugary donut. Except I didn't want to lick my lips and ingest Dick's 80-year-old skin. I then had to carry on singing him happy birthday and take pictures. So I looked like this for the whole gig, like I'd had a lip implant from Desperate Housewives. Trust me, it's not all glamour. Now, I was in Berlin in the height of summer. Now, you know the Germans, they love a vest top, right? So this guy had been watching my show all day in the hot summer heat, and afterwards I had a mix and mingle photo opportunity. So on comes the man in the vest top and shoves me straight under his hot, sweaty, dripping arm. But I kept smiling because that's what Marilyn did, because I appreciate my fans. And you know what? I do get hired to sing to a lot of pensioners. One of those pensioners was the... Why are you looking at someone? Is there a pensioner over there? Oh, she's ordering a drink. Sorry, she was like, oh, you. It's okay, girl needs a drink. I get hired to sing to a lot of pensioners, and one of those pensioners was the racing driver, Sir Sterling Moss. Yeah. It was his 70th birthday. I think you were there. It was his 70th birthday. And I pulled up. I'm aging you now, aren't I? I pulled up, because he's dead, Sterling, now, sorry. So I pulled up in this blue convertible Cadillac to sing to Sterling. And my driver of that Cadillac was Damon Hill. I know, I told you, I'm top notch. I'm not bragging. So as I came out and popped out of this Cadillac to sing Happy Birthday to Sterling Moss, he turned and said, "Thank you so much for the crumpet." Which is a 9... no, he was lovely, really. But it is true, but he was lovely. But Yeah, that's what they called women back in the 50s. He's a product of his time. But we had to get in the car together and race around the racetrack. Now, it was the height of British summertime, so it was raining. And as we went around the track, the rain going everywhere, into my face, I looked more like Matt Monroe than Marilyn Monroe. I lost my eyelashes at the second chicane. I'd gone from hot crumpet to soggy crumpet. But famous men do love Marilyn Monroe. And one of those famous men was the legend, the genius, Stephen Hawking. He loved Marilyn. He loved Marilyn Monroe so much that he actually superimposed a picture of himself on an old picture of Marilyn because he loved her, and it hung in his office. He never met her, he just superimposed himself, right? So when they made the Oscar-winning movie about his life, The Theory of Everything, I was hired to go to Ealing Studios to reproduce this picture with the actor playing Stephen, Eddie Redmayne. It was amazing. And they loved it so much that Stephen's actual family called me after the movie and said, could you come and sing Happy Birthday to the real Stephen Hawking? It was literally, it's one of the best moments of my life. He was lovely. And we stayed in contact. And when Stephen died, his family invited me to this ceremony at Westminster Abbey where they laid his ashes there. It was a beautiful ceremony. I was sitting with the A-list of Hollywood. They put me in like the VIP section. I was next to the A-list of Hollywood. I had Benedict Cumberbatch there. I had music legends like Nile Rodgers and Pink Floyd. I was basically with everybody that's loved on TV. And Piers Morgan. He nearly come tonight. Wouldn't have been able to do that joke. But it is amazing because, you know, she is this sex symbol, and I know that Marilyn really struggled to live up to that. When she hired Sir Laurence Olivier to direct her in The Prince and the Showgirl, his first direction to her was, well, just be sexy. And sometimes Marilyn just felt, like we all do sometimes, as sexy as a fossil. You had plenty money, 1922. You let other women make a fool of you. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here, give me some money too. You're sitting down wondering what it's all about. If you ain't got the money, they will put you out. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here, give me some money too. If you had prepared 20 years ago, you wouldn't be running round from door to door. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here, give me some money too. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Why don't you do right like some other men do? Thank you. I can't get this bottle open. Can you help me? Thank you. You look like Marilyn Monroe. I always knew Marilyn Monroe was with me. And there you are. Now, it's not all been gross. Some of it has been really glamorous. For example, I got casted to be in the new Blade Runner movie. I was... Girl. Yeah. There I was with Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford having a big punch-up in Vegas. And the best bit is that my name is under Harrison Ford's in the credits. Yeah. So not only have I been in an Oscar-winning movie, I've been in another Oscar-winning movie. But the weirdest thing is that's playing Marilyn Monroe in the future. But when you get hired to play Marilyn Monroe for film, but you're playing her actual life, it's really weird because you're like living her footsteps. And the strangest one was, I got casted in the series Autopsy. Now, I don't know if you know the series Autopsy. It's basically, it investigates the deaths of really, really famous people and tries to, find out how they really died rather than just rumour. And this one, Autopsy, was about Marilyn's death, and they had new information from the Julian's auction to cast light on what kind of really happened. Now, we were trying to film the conspiracy theories and get them out of the way. Now, one of the conspiracy theories that never happened was that she was smothered. But we had to film that. Great, huh? So the guy arrived on set, the smotherer, let's call him the smotherer. He arrived on set, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think it was his first day on set, but I think this guy is his first day on any set. So when he came to smother me, he just dropped the pillow straight onto my face. I thought, that's not smothering. So I said to him, listen, I'm a fan of the method, which is Marilyn Monroe is a fan of it, which you really live it out and you pretend it's really happening. So I said to him, look, you actually smother me, and then I'll give you a sign, what you call a safe word. 3 taps on the back, and you just stop. But until then, really smother me. So, action. You know what's going to happen, don't you? This is true. This isn't written for the show. This is true. So, he starts smothering me, really forcefully. I'm starting to run out of air now. So, tap, 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 safe word. Nothing happens. He carries on. And I am kicking and screaming and scratching, and I'm literally just about to run out of air when he says, cut. I couldn't believe it. Now, to prove I'm not lying, go home tonight, download Autopsy, it's on Amazon Prime, make me some money, and you will literally see me kicking and screaming and scratching. It looks like great acting, but it's not. You know the truth now. And it's like when I have to do overdose scenes. Like now I do shows and films, and they have like actual props made, even down to the numbers on the drugs. It's so bizarre. But when I first did it, I was in a film called Who Killed Marilyn. This was like when I first was Marilyn. And we had to use Tic Tacs. Yeah, do you remember those? So by the time, are they still around? Oh, well, this put me off. Right? So by the time that I'd done all these different scenes and lighting and setups, I'd had about 8 packets of Tic Tacs. Right. And the prop guy went, shit, have you read this? It says if you eat these in consumption, You get diarrhea. Shit indeed. Do you know, though, the weirdest one is obviously when COVID happened, all of us entertainers lost our jobs. But during lockdown, they opened up film sets, right? They take care of themselves. They opened up this film set, and they casted me. I auditioned, and I got the job for a new American TV show about Marilyn Monroe's life. And I got the job, and obviously we had to film the death scene. But the strangest thing was, and this was completely unintentional, it's just because sets had opened, we filmed Marilyn Monroe's final passing, which is heartbreaking, on August the 5th at 10 a.m. in the UK, which would have been like 3 a.m., 5th of August in LA, which was 58 years to the moment and time that she passed. And weirdly, when I said this to the director, she said, "Oh my God, it's scene 36. Which was the age Marilyn Monroe passed at. And what's really weird about that is every single time that I've played Marilyn Monroe passing, I want to change the end. Even though I'm filming it, I hope that I look at the script and the ending has changed, that I can rush in and just save her like she saved me. Now, some of you might go, "Saved you? Don't even know her, love, get over it." But she really did. She saved me from the life that I was living. In 2006, I was at the Dorchester Hotel in the bar, and I was waiting to sing Happy Birthday in the ballroom. So I was sitting at the bar, and a guy comes up to me, and he says, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a Marilyn Monroe lookalike." And he said, "What else do you do?" I said, "Sing." And he said, "What else do you do?" And I said, "Dance." By the time the client turned up, I was on to tell him I just started juggling. She said to me, "Oh, Susie, really sorry. Oh, this bar is known as a hooker bar." So he probably you know that, right? So he probably not judging. So I said, "Oh, I didn't know that. I probably shouldn't have told him I was really good at juggling two balls." But when I went out, my stepdad was waiting outside for me in the car. He'd always wait outside all the time. And he said to me, "That's not a bad idea." And I couldn't believe it, what I was hearing. I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you know, your Marilyn isn't paying a lot of money anymore, and we could make a fortune if you sell your body." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The man that came into my life when I was a little girl and promised to protect me and look after me wanted me to become a prostitute. But I should have known, really, because he raped me when I was 12. Yeah. But it wasn't really rape. Because, like he said, it's not rape because I love you, unlike your real dad. I really love you, and this is my way of showing it, and nobody else would understand. This man that came into my life as a caring, loving, pseudo-stepdad into our innocent, beautiful, trusting family, raped me and abused me every day from the age of 12. He turned me into a secretive, angry, emotional wreck. I turned against everyone, including my innocent, beautiful mum, who knew nothing. She thought I was angry at her because only a few years later she'd broken up with him. She never married him. And she just thought I wanted to be with my stepdad. She never knew because I had to lie. I didn't know who to trust anymore. He turned me against anybody that could have known that secret. But the good news is I had an escape because I had this thing called Marilyn Monroe that I could escape to and have time away. After 2006, when he asked me if I wanted to be a prostitute, I knew I had to get out of there. And people would say, "Well, why didn't you leave before? Why didn't you go?" And I tell you why I didn't go. because that was my normality and you get used to it. And he also said, if I ever left or told anyone, he would kill me. And I believed him. And in 2006, I attempted to leave, and he wasn't lying. I got out of that house by the time the police arrived, injured, but alive. Now, I know you came here for a swinging, happy Marilyn show, and not an episode of Oprah Winfrey. You know all about that, don't you, Harry? Old Oprah. But this is the reality of life. And it was also the reality of Marilyn's life. She knew what it felt like to be abused as a child. She also knew what it felt like to want a child. And unfortunately, for me, like Marilyn, that was never to be. And in 2014, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. I went through chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and at the end of it, they said, we're really sorry, Susie, but the cancer's come back and it's spread. So I had to have more chemo and more radio. But the good news was, I didn't lose all my hair with this version of chemo. Well, actually, that's a lie. I did actually lose hair from the radiotherapy somewhere. Let's just say I had an instant Brazilian wax. But they told me if I did survive this treatment, I would never be able to have children. Now, I'm sorry if you're listening to me thinking, God, this is like a tsunami of sorrow. I need another drink. But you know what? The thing is that it is quite horrible, but I'm still here. And I'm still standing. That abuser, my stepdad, he wasn't my real stepdad, he passed away in prison in 2007 with numerous charges against him, including 13 for underage rape against me. And thanks to that, my beautiful mum got reunited, my innocent mum that really, she's amazing. I've got to tell you, she's amazing. And she was with me all through my chemotherapy and radiotherapy, force-feeding me another Jamie Oliver recipe from another Jamie Oliver book. But, you know, people say, how did you get through it? Well, I had Marilyn Monroe to escape with. But more importantly, what's changed my life, and I've had some terrible times since getting through trauma, what really changed my life was finding God. Can you hear that noise? That noise is all the gays' eyes rolling. Listen, don't worry. I'm not going to give you a sermon. Listen, it shocked me too. My Sunday mornings were for hangovers. But it did. But finding faith literally changed my life. It healed me because I finally found out that God loved me just as I am. Unlike my boyfriend, who'd have preferred it if I was Pamela Anderson. But I did think, I wonder what Marilyn Monroe would think now I'm a full-up paid member of the God Squad. And you know what? I was looking through a magazine, and it was from 1954, Photoplay, and inside was an interview of Marilyn, and she said, if I ever have a daughter, I want her to know that God loves her. See? Even Marilyn had a bit of Bride of Christ about her, didn't she? Now, as I laid in that bed, knowing that I'll never have children, my loving mother by my side, I heard this song, and it reminded me how Marilyn would feel. And it spoke to me. Hey lady, you lady, don't just walk away, 'cause I have the need to tell you while I'm all alone today. I can see so much of me still living in your eyes. Won't you share a part of a weary heart that has lived a million lives? Ooh, I've been to Nice and the Isle of Greece, and I've sipped champagne on a yacht. I've moved like Harlow in Monte Carlo and showed him what I got. I've been undressed by kings, and I've seen some things that a woman ain't supposed to see. I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. To crying for unborn children that might have made me complete. But I took the sweet life, I never knew I'd be bitter from this sweet. I've spent my life exploring and subtle whoring that cost too much to be free. I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. Don't worry, I know you've got a last train. Last bit, you can nearly go. Anyway, so. Well, one of the questions I get asked is this. You're really old now, and Marilyn Monroe died young. So what are you going to do? And I ask myself the same question, but I'm not such a bitch about it. Right? And sometimes I wonder what Marilyn Monroe would have done being in 2021 instead of 1951. And this is a woman that was ahead of her time. I mean, she was the first to talk about, sexual harassment in Hollywood. She referred to Hollywood as a large brothel, and she lost her contract because she refused to sleep with the studio boss. You can read this. This is in her autobiography, My Story. Read it. It's amazing. She also was the first Hollywood studio blonde to walk out on the studio system to set up her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions. To laughs and sniggers, she did it. And she produced her own film, The Prince and the Showgirl, and hired Sir Laurence Olivier to direct her. She was amazing. She's also what we now call an ally. She was so racially aware to the point where Ella Fitzgerald talks about her. I was really lucky because I got to do the show Marilyn and Ella in the Apollo Theatre in the West End. And this show is about Marilyn and Ella's friendship. And Ella said she owed Marilyn Monroe a huge debt because Marilyn personally called the owner of the Macombo. Now, this is a time of segregation in America in the 50s, and said, if you hire Ella Fitzgerald, I will sit front row every night. And she brought her friends, and she was true to her word. And Ella said, because of Marilyn, I never had to play a small club again. She was amazing. But not only Ella's life was changed, my life was changed by Marilyn Monroe. She was a bright light in the darkness for me. And at the end of her life, in her last interview, she said, one day I will leave fame because I knew it was fickle. And yet next year it'll be 60 years since she passed away. And her face is still shining out from billboards and commercials and bags. Not obviously cheap wig things, that's my face. But she changed my life. And I've spent the last 20-odd years living with Marilyn, and I'll miss her when I move on. But she was Marilyn, and there's only one, Suzie Kennedy. I love her. And on August the 5th, 1962, Norma Jean died. Marilyn Monroe didn't die. She lives on. And like Elton John said, he would have liked to have known her. And in a way, I feel like I did. Goodbye, Norma Jean. Though I never knew you at all, you had the grace to hold yourself while those around you crawled. Goodbye, Norma Jean, from this young girl in the 22nd row who knew you were something more than sexual, more than just Marilyn Monroe. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to have known you, and in a way I did. Your candle burned out long before. Your legend never did. Thank you, Marilyn, and thank you all for coming. Thank you ever so. Wow. Thank you ever so. Wow. Okay, we're going to do one more little quarter song so I can introduce the bands, and I just want to thank you all for coming. I know some of you have come from so far away, Scotland and... Did you come from Scotland? You came from Texas? Sorry, you just got gazumped. You're like, yay, Scotland. It's terrible, that, isn't it? Anyone here from Australia? Oh no, you're still locked up, aren't you? You can't... We're going to do, as I told you about the fabulous Ella, Marilyn Monroe covered a song called Fine Romance, which is an Ella Fitzgerald song, and we're going to close with that. Let's go. A fine romance, my good fellow. You take romance, I'll take jello. You calmer than the seals in the Arctic Ocean. At least they flap their fins to express emotion. A fine romance with no quarrel, with no insult, and all morals. I never must the crease in your blue serge pants. I never get the chance. This is a fine romance. Thank you, everybody. I want you to introduce my beautiful band. On saxophone, we have Bob Steindorf. On drums, we have Pete Cater. On bass, we have Doug Ranell. And our MD, the amazing pianist, Graham Taylor. I also want to give a shout out to Richard Thomas for helping me so much with this show. Now let's feel different. I never get the chance. This is fine, fine. It's a fine, fine romance. Ha! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank ya. All right, thanks.